In this video, I'm going to show you how to make pop music, kind of just like a sound that's very popular nowadays on the charts and the radio. And to do that, I remade a very popular song right now called Fortnight by Taylor Swift and Post Malone. And I'll break down my remake of the song's elements, the sounds of those elements, the mixing, the structure and arrangement, all that jazz. So hopefully by the end of this tutorial, you can make a similar pop song in the style of this one. Set the tempo around 95 to 100 BPM. Start off by making some long synthy chords. And if you need help creating some simple chords like this, chordcore.com is a great resource to help you with that. All you have to do is pick your key and then hit generate, and then you get tons of chords within the key that you want. And then you could combine them and make some progressions like this, and it's all pretty simple. Not a sponsor, I just really like using that website. And I use 3 presets to accomplish this sound. I use this sustained strings preset from Flex, this vital preset from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 3, and this vital sound from the same sound bank. So this one's just like a very chill, mellow synth sound. This one's more of like a standard default synth. This one is just a string preset to help fill up that synth sound and elevate it a little bit more. For mixing, I put a EQ on here that looks like this. It gets rid of a lot of the lows because we're going to make some basses later, and we don't want these lows to counteract the other lows of the bass and make it sound muddy and stuff. And then boost a little bit of the highs as well, just to give it a more crispy and light sound on these synth chords. And all of the elements that we're going to have except the drums are going to be having this sidechain on here just so that the drums can stand out a little more and impact a little harder as well. But it's not too big of a sidechain, it's a little bit, it's only 35%. Next, take the root notes of the chords and make some bass out of them. So for example, like this is an E chord right here and this is an F sharp chord right here. So you just take the root notes of the chords and then chop them up into a bass sound like this. Make sure to get that really crispy analog bass sound like from an 80s synthwave sound or something like that. And that's exactly what I did. I got a crisp and a bass preset from the synthwave pack from Flex with these macro settings as well. And then this bass guitar preset from Flex as well, just to help fill up the sound and amplify it a little bit more. And for mixing, all I did is I put a Fruity Blood overdrive on here with the filter turned up a little bit and the color turned up all the way. So the color helps to elevate the texture and crispiness of the sound and the high ends of the bass as well. And then the filter tones down the harshness of it. So this really just elevates the presence of it, and then the filter tones down the harshness of it. And then the same sidechain from earlier for the same reasons. Now for the drums. I have this kick. Just like a very synthetic 80s synthwave type kick. I have this snare. Again, a very synthetic 80s type snare. And then this hi-hat loop that I made myself that just goes on every other step. And the full drum loop sounds like this. Pretty 80s synthy type sounding. And for mixing, the hat just has some reverb on there. It's not much reverb, it's just a little bit to make it sound pretty wet in the mix. Focus on the low cut over here as well so that there's not some unneeded lows with the reverb. Pretty similar reverb for the snare as well. An even stronger low cut and a Fruity Blood overdrive on here to amplify and elevate the sound a little bit. And also the colors turned up quite a bit. We want to really focus on the high end of the snare rather than the low end. And then the kick just has a Fruity Blood overdrive on here with the main amp turned up just to really amplify the kick and give it a punch. Now for some effects, I just have this drone playing in the background. It's really just to fill up the mix and to keep the tempo going. Without the drone, it'll sound pretty dull and lifeless, but this really helps fill up the background a little bit. At the start of the chorus, I have a crash. And at the start of the chorus, I have a trickler arp. And some effects as well, but I'll get into that for the structure and arrangement portion of this track. So I kind of split this up into a like verse or pre-chorus, and then over here I have the chorus itself. So for the verse or pre-chorus, it's just a stripped down version of the chorus. You have the bass, you have the drone, and then just the kick and the snares of the drum loop. And then I have some effects leading up to the chorus, an uplifter and a reverse crash to lead up into the chorus. And then for the chorus, that's where everything plays. We have the chords, we have the bass, we have the drone effects, we have the full drum loop, we have the crash from earlier playing on every 4 bars. Leading up to the 4-bar stretch as well, we have that same uplifter from earlier that led up to the chorus, but now we're using it inside of the chorus as well. And then the same reverse crash that we had leading up to the introduction of the chorus, we have 4 bars in to continue the chorus as well. So just for a visual, this is what the final structure of the track looks like. And after all that, here's the final result.